What if I told you that money has never changed a single person in history? Stay with me, because what researchers discovered about wealth and the human mind will completely change how you see your own future. There's a reason some people come into money and become unrecognizable, while others come into the exact same amount and become more themselves than ever. And nowhere is this more visible than in the moment right before the money arrives. You see, people think wealth is a transformation, but decades of psychological research revealed something far more complex and, frankly, more unsettling. Here's what almost nobody understands about the richest version of your life. And trust me, by the end of this, you will never look at your goals the same way again. Money does not build character. Money reveals it. It doesn't write on a blank page, it turns up the volume on the page you've already written. The generous man becomes visibly generous. The anxious man becomes visibly anxious. The man who was running from himself simply gains a faster vehicle. And what happens to someone who arrives at abundance while still running? That's where this gets uncomfortable. In 1978, a group of psychologists studied lottery winners and compared them to people who had just experienced catastrophic accidents. What they found stunned the field. Within months, the winners weren't measurably happier than a control group of ordinary people. Worse, many reported that everyday pleasures, a morning coffee, a conversation, a small win at work, had lost their flavor entirely. The money didn't fail them. Their nervous system simply did what it was built to do. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation, and it is the single most underestimated force standing between you and the life you're chasing. But here's where it turns, and why most people never recover from this stage. Adaptation isn't a flaw. It's a survival mechanism. Your mind is designed to normalize whatever it holds, so it can keep scanning for what's missing. That's what kept your ancestors alive. That is also what makes a person buy the house they dreamed of for a decade and feel nothing by the fourth month. The upgrade becomes the baseline. The baseline becomes invisible. The invisible becomes insufficient. This isn't ingratitude. This is architecture. And once you understand it, you can build against it instead of being buried by it. Listen carefully to what comes next, because this is the part that changes the entire equation. For years, the research said something brutal and simple. Past a certain income, additional money stopped producing additional well-being. The plateau. Everyone quoted it, everyone believed it. Then researchers went back, ran it again with better data, and found the twist. Money kept increasing well-being well past the supposed ceiling, but only for people who were already doing reasonably well emotionally. For the unhappiest group, more money did almost nothing. The suffering it was supposed to fix, it didn't touch. Read that again. Wealth amplifies a life that already has structure. It cannot manufacture one. And this is where most people make a catastrophic error in sequencing. They wait. They put the peace, the boundaries, the health, the honesty, the relationships on the other side of the number. They tell themselves, once I get there, I'll finally rest. I'll finally repair it. I'll finally become that person. But you don't become someone new when you arrive. You arrive as whoever you were on the way. What happens next is the piece nobody warns you about. There is a documented psychological cost to scarcity itself. Researchers found that financial pressure consumes cognitive bandwidth the way a background program drains a battery. Under real money stress, people make worse decisions, not because they're less intelligent, but because a portion of their mind is permanently occupied. Here's what that means, and it's the part that will send a chill through you. The habits you built while broke were not neutral. They were adaptations to a specific environment: hoarding, over-explaining, saying yes to everything, treating every opportunity as the last one, flinching before you negotiate. Those patterns kept you alive in scarcity. They will quietly sabotage you in abundance, and they do not fall away automatically when the balance changes. That's why the work begins before the arrival, not after it. 2,000 years ago, Seneca, a man who was both a Stoic philosopher and one of the wealthiest men in Rome, which is precisely what makes him worth hearing, wrote that he did not condemn wealth. He said the wise man does not love riches, he simply prefers them. He said wealth is the servant of the wise and the master of the fool, and he insisted that a person should be able to hold everything they own with an open hand. Not renounce it, hold it without gripping it. That distinction is everything, because the person who grips is not wealthy. They're a hostage with a good address. And here's where the entire frame inverts. The wealthiest resource you will ever own was never currency. Studies on what researchers call time affluence found something consistent. People who spend money to buy back their time report higher life satisfaction than people who spend the equivalent on possessions. And most people across income levels systematically choose the possession, which means the richest life isn't the one with the most acquired. It's the one with the most reclaimed attention, reclaimed mornings, reclaimed rooms you're not obligated to enter, reclaimed relationships you no longer have to perform inside of. And once someone understands that, something permanent shifts. They stop chasing the number and start building the container. They stop asking how much and start asking what for. They stop measuring the life by what enters it and start measuring it by what it no longer needs. They don't spend to be seen because they've stopped auditioning. They don't hoard out of fear because they've addressed the fear directly instead of trying to out-earn it. They don't buy the version of the life that photographs well. They build the one that feels correct at 6 in the morning when nobody is watching and there is no one to impress. This is the part almost nobody reaches, because the richest life was never a place you move into. It's a threshold you cross as a person, and the crossing happens long before the arrival. The people who thrive with abundance had already practiced generosity when it cost them something. They had already practiced restraint when there was nothing to restrain. They had already learned to sit alone in a quiet room without needing to fill it. The money didn't give them that. The money just made it visible. So before you move into your richest life, understand this. Whatever you don't resolve now, you will simply be able to afford later. Whatever emptiness you're planning to fill with the arrival will still be there when the arrival stops feeling new. And it will stop feeling new faster than you think. Build the person first. Let the wealth find someone worth arriving to. That's not a limitation. That's the only version of this that lasts. Thank you for staying with me through this. If this reframed something for you, subscribe to the channel and send it to someone standing right at the edge of their next chapter.